Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी वृषभानुं सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय।
जय
बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा भैया, हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा रीना जी। हाउ इज योर फुट नाउ? इज दैट इम्प्रूविंग? ठीक हो गया?
अभी नहीं, अभी भी बूट पहनना पड़ रहा है।
अरे इतना टाइम हो गया ना अभी तो।
या लास्ट टाइम गए थे तो ठीक नहीं हुआ था।
हाँ।
So yeah, I have to pay another way. They asked me to wear it for like 5 or 6 more weeks. So I will see how it
Really?
goes.
6 more weeks?
6 more weeks,
क्या
yes.
ज्यादा स्ट्रेच हो गया क्या?
जुड़ नहीं पा रहा है प्रॉपरली।
हम्म।
या
हम्म। तो फिर तो थोड़ी परेशानी हो रही है ना?
जी। वो थोड़ा सा तंग करता है, लेकिन क्या है कि एक्टिविटी तो रोक नहीं सकते हैं, बैठने की आदत नहीं है। सो
राइट राइट।
या
तभी भी सिखा रहे हो, जा रहे हो स्कूल वगैरह?
जी, स्कूल जा रहे हैं, लेकिन ये है कि स्कूल जाते हैं तभी बूट पहनते हैं, घर में उतना नहीं हो पाता है, या फिर इफ आई एम आउटसाइड, सो इट्स गोइंग
हम्म।
ऑन। या होपफुली इट विल बी बेटर दिस टाइम व्हेन आई विजिट लाइक ऑन 27th। शुड बी
राइट।
गुड।
ओके। ओके 27 क्या? अच्छा अच्छा। ओके सो जस्ट 1 more week।
यस,
क्या
वन
नहीं,
मोर
चलो
वीक।
होपफुली इट शुड गेट इम्प्रूव। ठीक हो
यस,
जाएगा। या इट टेक्स टाइम ना, कुछ भी हो जाता है फिर टाइम लग जाता है।
राइट।
बट नाइस, चलो यू कुड ज्वाइन रीना जी, वेरी नाइस। हम लोग भी 2 वीक पॉज लिए हुए थे।
यस।
सो वी आर रीस्टार्टिंग। और लास्ट वीक हम लोग 39th अध्याय पढ़ रहे थे। और इफ यू वांट टू रिकलेक्ट, बेसिकली अक्रूर जी, ही गोज टू गोकुल धाम टू ब्रिंग Krishna Bhagwan and Balram Bhagwan to Mathura. Yeah, so that's why Akrūra goes to Nandgaon, and that is on the way, right? On his rath, he is bringing Bhagwan Krishna and Bhagwan Balram to Mathura. While he is doing that, right, बीच में जब रुकते हैं तो यमुना नदी में जब जाते हैं, स्नान करते हैं, तो अक्रूर जी को भगवान कृष्ण और भगवान बलराम के दर्शन होते हैं। लेकिन उनको लग रहा है कि कुछ तो सही नहीं है, बट वापस जब रथ पे आते हैं तो वहां पे भी भगवान कृष्ण और बलराम बैठे हुए होते हैं। फिर वो वापस देखने के लिए आते हैं, और जब देखने के लिए आते हैं तो अभी जो हम लोग ये लास्ट चैप्टर के 2-3 श्लोक हम लोग पढ़ेंगे, जस्ट टू रिकलेक्ट। वी कंप्लीटेड चैप्टर 39 लास्ट टाइम, बट विल रीड जस्ट कपल ऑफ श्लोक्स टू जस्ट रीगेन कि कैसे भगवान के दर्शन अक्रूर जी को हो रहे हैं। सो एक्चुअली व्हाई डोंट वी एक्चुअली स्टार्ट विद दिस ओनली, अनिल जी?
हमसे कहा सुमहार मणिता मणिव्रात किरीट कटकांगदय कणिसूत्र ब्रह्मसूत्र हारु हारनूपुर कुंडलय ब्राजमानं पद्माकरं शंखचक्र गदाधरं श्रीवत्स वक्षसं भ्राजकौस्तुभं वनमालिनम् adorned with the helmet, bracelets, and armlets, which were all bedecked with many priceless jewels, and also with a belt, a sacred thread, necklaces, ankle bells, and earrings. The Lord shone with dazzling effulgence In one hand, he had a lotus flower, in the others, a conch shell, discus, and club. Gracing his chest were the Srivas mark, the brilliant Kaustubh gem, and a flower garland. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। और जैसा कि हम लोग देखते हैं, भगवान विष्णु के जब दर्शन होते हैं, जितने भी बार दर्शन डिस्क्राइब किए गए श्रीमद् भागवतम में, अलग अलग भक्तों को जो दर्शन करे गए हैं, एकदम एज इज डिस्क्राइब किया होता है, राइट? लाइक भगवान के 4 हाथों में, एक में लोटस फ्लावर है, या शंख है, चक्र है, गदा है, राइट? एंड ऑल्सो चेस्ट पर श्रीवत्स मार्क है, लक्ष्मी जी का श्रीवत्स जो स्थान है लक्ष्मी जी का, वो है। कौस्तुभ जेम है, या गार्लैंड का फ्लोर है, and all those things, sacred thread, necklaces, ankle bells, and earrings, right? Like as you can see, it says here, yeah, kirit, kundal, and then it describes all this Kati Sutra, Brahma Sutra, Har, Nupur Kundale, and how Bhagwan's darshan is done. Bhagwan Vishnu जो दिख रहे हैं, भ्राजमानम पद्म करम शंख चक्र गदाधरम, या चारों हाथों में पद्म, कमल का फूल, शंख, एक हाथ में चक्र, एक हाथ में गदा, या भ्राजमानम पद्म करम शंख चक्र गदाधरम, एंड देन श्री वत्स वक्षिशम, या जो लक्ष्मी जी का स्थान है, वत्स, श्री वत्स पर, वक्ष पे श्री वत्स का स्थान है, एंड देन कौस्तुभ मणि, एंड देन माला भगवान पहने हुए हैं। इस तरह से अक्रूर जी को भगवान कृष्ण तो रथ पर बैठे हुए हैं, लेकिन जब अक्रूर जी यमुना नदी पर जाते हैं तो वहां भी वो भगवान कृष्ण को देखते हैं, और जो दर्शन भगवान कृष्ण का करते हैं, वो भगवान विष्णु का दर्शन ऐसे हो रहा है, इज व्हाट इज बीइंग डिस्क्राइब्ड, या सो हेलो, हरे कृष्णा निशा।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा अजय।
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा।
कृष्णा, सो वी आर जस्ट रीस्टार्टिंग, एंड हम लोग लास्ट टाइम अध्याय 39 पूरा करे थे, but we are just reading few shloks back from 39 just to recollect, because we had 2 weeks gap, so at least we can recite couple of shloks. और जैसा कि अगर याद हो रहा होगा, तो अक्रूर जी जब भगवान कृष्ण और भगवान बलराम को नंदगांव से मथुरा ले जा रहे हैं, बीच में रथ रोकते हैं, यमुना नदी पर जाते हैं, तो उन्हें भगवान कृष्ण और बलराम दिखते हैं। तो वापस रथ पर आते हैं तो देखते हैं कि भगवान कृष्ण और बलराम तो यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, तो वहां कैसे दिख रहे हैं। वो वापस जाते हैं यमुना नदी पर, और वो भगवान कृष्ण और भगवान बलराम उनको दर्शन देते हैं। तो ऐसे भगवान कृष्ण जो भगवान विष्णु के रूप में दिख रहे हैं, वो वर्णन यहाँ पर सुखदेव गोस्वामी जी ने किया है। तो कैसे, पद्म करम शंख चक्र गदाधरम श्रीवत्स वक्षिशम भ्राज कौस्तुभम वनमालिनम, ऐसे भगवान विष्णु का दर्शन अक्रूर जी को होता है। रीना जी।
नंद नंद प्रमुखे पर्षदय सनकादिभिः सुरेशैर्ब्रह्मरुद्रादिर्नैर्वभिश्च द्विजोत्तमे प्रह्लाद नारदव सुप्रमुखैर्भागवतोत्तमे स्तूयमानं पृथग्भावैर्वर्चोभिरमलात्मभिः श्रिया पुष्ट्या गिरा कान्त्या कीर्त्या तुष्टयेलयोर्जया विद्या शक्त्या माया च निषेवितम्। Encircling the Lord and worshipping him were Sunanda and his other personal attendants, Sanak and the other Kumaras, Brahma, Rudra and other chief demigods, the 9 chief Brahmanas and the best of the saintly devotees, headed by Prahlad, Narad and Uparichara Vasu. Each of these great personalities was worshipping the Lord by chanting sanctified words of praise in his own unique mood. Also in attendance were the Lord's principal internal potencies, Sri Pusti, Gir, Kanti, Kirti, Tusti, Ila, and Urja, as were his material potencies Vidya, Avidya, and Maya, and his internal pleasure potency Shakti. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। तो ऐसे भगवान विष्णु को के दर्शन जो हो रहे हैं अक्रूर जी को, वही डिस्क्राइब किया गया है। सो सी हाउ दे आर सीइंग दैट ऑल द लॉर्ड worshipping him were Nanda, Sunanda, and his other personal attendees, Sanak Muni, yeah, and the other Kumars, the Sanat Kumars, right? The four Kumars, including Lord Brahma, Rudra, yeah, Lord Shiva, and other chief devatas, and 9 chief rishis, yeah, and best of saintly devotees, including Prahlad Maharaj, Narad Muni, and they are all worshipping, right? As it's mentioned, Sanat Adibhi, yeah, all the Sanat Kumars and Suresh Brahma Rudra द्विजो उत्तमे, या उत्तम श्लोकों से भगवान की ग्लोरिफिकेशन कर रहे हैं, इंक्लूडिंग प्रहलाद महाराज, नारद, या भागवतो उत्तमे, उत्तम श्लोकों से भगवान की प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं। ऐसे दर्शन अक्रूर जी को हो रहे हैं। रामानुज जी।
Sri Vishwanatha Chakravarti explains the Lord potencies mentioned in these verses. Sri is the potency of wealth, Pusti that of strength, Gir knowledge, Kanti beauty, Kirti fame, and Tusti renunciation. These are the Lord's 6 opulences. Ila is his Bhu Sakti, also known as Sandhini, the internal potency of whom the element earth is an expansion. Urja is his internal potency for performing pastimes. She expands as the Tulsi plant in the world. Vidya and Avidya, knowledge and ignorance, are external potencies who cause the living entities liberation and bondage, respectively. Shakti is his internal pleasure potency. Ridhini and Maya is the internal potency who is the basis of Vidya and Avidya. The word ka implies the presence of the Lord's marginal energy, the Jiva Shakti, who is the subordinate to Maya. Lord Vishnu was being served by all these personifies potencies. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and then so much to learn here, right? So as we know, the Lord has the internal potencies and external potencies, right? The internal potencies are all his spiritual potencies. External potencies like Maya, yeah, which influences the external world, right? The materialistic world. And as you can see, in attendance, what is described? Shri, Pusti, Gir, Kanti, Kirti, Tusti, Ila, and Urja. Bhagwan has 64 opulences, and those are described here, the 8 ones, yeah, where if you want to remember, so we can have a quiz next time, right? So Sri is the potency of wealth. Pusti is that of strength. Yeah, Sri is easy to remember because that's Sri Lakshmi. Yeah, the potency of wealth. Pusti is that of strength. Gir is of knowledge. Kanti is the beauty. Kirti, of course, that's easy to remember, fame. And Tusti is the renunciation. Yeah, the renunciation. Tyag. And then these are the Lord's 6 opulences. Ila is Bahu Shakti, also known as Sandhini, the internal potency of whom the element earth is an expansion. So Bhu is an expansion of Bhagwan's Bahu Shakti. Yeah, also called as Sandhini. And then Urja is easy to remember. Yeah, Urja is the energy. That's the internal potency for performing pastimes. So like all the pastimes of the Lord, Bhagwan takes avatar is held by the Urja. That's his internal potency. And the most important, as you can see, she expands as the Tulsi plant in this world. So not only Urja helps in performing the pastimes, it also expands as a Tulsi plant in this world. We all glorify and we all pray to Tulsi plant, right? Tulsi Mata. And that is the expansion of Urja, internal potency of Bhagwan's pastimes. Yeah. So if you quickly see, Sri is the potency of wealth, Pusti that of strength, Gir is knowledge, Kanti beauty, Kirti is fame, Tusti is renunciation, and then you have Bhau Shakti, Bhu is the expansion of that, also called as Sandhini, and then Urja is his internal potency for performing pastimes, and Tulsi plant, which is the most important to remember, is an expansion of Bhagwan's Urja Shakti. Yeah, that's internal Shakti. And then of course external Shakti is Vidya and Avidya, which is knowledge and ignorance, as we all know. Yeah, and those are the external potencies who cause the living entities liberation and bondage. So we all conditioned souls are influenced by Vidya and Avidya, we know that, right? If we have a lot of knowledge, we try to get knowledge, yeah, we can move towards liberation. If we have a lot of ignorance, tamoguns, then we get into the bondage. So we get bonded with so many different karmas of this materialistic world and the materialistic relationships that we are bondage, and because of that we keep taking birth again and again and again in different forms, different bodies. Yeah, and at some point if we can get Vidya and Bhakti, then we can try to get out of this cycle of birth and death, right? And also Shakti is another internal potency which is not at Ridhini, and Maya is the internal potency who is the basis of Vidya and Avidya. So the external potencies also come from the internal potencies. And if you remember, we talked about marginal energy, right? So you have internal energy and then external energy, and then in between you have marginal energy. Yeah, that's also called Mahat Tattva, right? In marginal energy is where you have the Jiv Shakti. Because when the world comes to awakening, all the jivas, like conditioned souls, are situated in the marginal energy. And we can go either to the spiritual world or we can come to the materialistic world. Depending on the karmas, we get to the materialistic world, and that's the Lord's marginal energy. That's a Jiv Shakti, yeah, which is a subordinate to the Maya. Yeah, that's why we say, oh, this world is a Maya, right? This is the Maya Shakti, internal potency of Bhagwan's Lord, from which Jiv Shakti comes, right? And that's where we are all lying during the time of total destruction. That's where we reside. We reside in the marginal energy of the Lord, right? And then, of course, so as you see, Akrūra ji ko jo Bhagwan Vishnu ka darshan ho raha hai. So he's seeing that all these, yeah, all these devatas and everyone glorifying the Lord, and also glorification is being done by his internal potencies and external potencies. Yeah. Nisha? Nisha?
विलोक्य सुभृशं पीतो भक्त्या परमया युतः रषत्तनुरुहो भावपरिक्लिन्नात्मलोचनः गिरा गदया स्तोषित सत्वमालम्ब्य सात्वतः प्रणम्य मूर्ध्नावहितः पुताञ्जलिपुटः शनैः. As the great devotee Akrūra beheld all his, he became extremely pleased and felt enthused with transcendental devotion. His intense ecstasy caused his bodily hair to stand on end and tears to flow from his eyes, drenching his entire body. Somehow managing to steady himself, Akrūra bowed his head to the ground. Then he joined his palms in supplication and in a voice choked with emotion very slowly and attentively began to pray. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so as we see how Bhagwan gave darshan to Akrūra ji, right? And then what happens is, as soon as he gets the darshan, he is extremely pleased and felt enthused, right? And he got into total transcendental devotion, right? So Bhagwan darshan de rahe hain, Akrūra ji ekdam transcendental devotion mein chale gaye hain, right? The tears are flowing from his eyes, yeah. So Atmalochana hai, bhav parikle Atmalochana hai, tears are flowing from his eyes, and then he does the whole pranam and he starts doing the prayers. So that's what we are going to read now, as very slowly and attentively Akrūra ji begins to pray to Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Vishnu. Yeah. That's what we'll read into the next chapter. Yeah. So this ends the purpose of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 39th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Akrūra's Vision. Yeah, as Akrūra takes Bhagwan Lord Shri Krishna and Bhagwan Balram to Mathura, on the way, Bhagwan gives him a darshan at the Yamuna river. We saw that how beautifully that is described, and then Akrūra begins to pray to Bhagwan Vishnu. Follow Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Yeah. So now we'll see the prayers of Akrūra. So far we are seeing the darshan of Bhagwan Vishnu and also before that Bhagwan Balram. Yeah. Now we'll see how Akrūra is praying to Shri Krishna. Yeah. Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Ajay?
श्री अक्रूर उवाच नतोऽस्म्यहं त्वाखिल हेतुं नारायणं पुरुषमाद्यमव्ययं यन्न विजात तादरविन्दकोशाद् ब्रह्मा विरासीद यत एष लोकः. Shri Akrūra said, I bow down to you, the cause of all causes, the original and the inexhaustible Supreme Person, Narayan. From the world of the lotus born from your navel, Brahma appeared, and by his agency, this universe has come into being. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Akrūra ji, prayer shuru karte hain Bhagwan ki, I bow down to you, and he is of course the cause of all causes. Yeah. Says here, Nato ashamya aham. Yeah, he bows down and he's saying akhil hetu. Yeah, cause of all the causes. He is Narayanam. Yeah, he is Narayan. He is the Adya Purush. Purusham Adya. Right? The original Purush. Adya is original Purush. Avyayam. Avyayam is inexhaustible. Yeah, he can never be exhausted. And he says from Nabhi, yeah, from his Nabhi, yeah, Arvinda Koshad, Brahmaji appears. Yeah, Lord Brahma appears. And then, of course, from Brahmaji, Yata Esha Lokaha, this word appears. That's how Akrūra starts the prayer. I bow down to you, the cause of all causes, the original Adya and the inexhaustible Supreme Person, Narayan. From the wall of the lotus born from your navel, Brahmaji appeared, and by his agency, this universe has come into being. Yeah? That's how Akrūra start doing the glorification. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna. Bhusyatoyam agni pavanam kham adhir mahan ajadhir mana indriyani sarvandriyatho vidudhasya sarve ye hetvaste jagatos bhutah. Earth, water, fire, air, ether and its source, false ego, the Mahatattva, the total material nature and her source, the Supreme Lord's Purusha expansion, the mind, the senses, the sense objects, and the senses presiding deities. All these causes of the cosmic manifestation are born from your transcendental body. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So we all keep questioning where all this world has come, right? How everything has been generated. And as we know, we have read so many times, right? Like how the materialistic world is. And even for us, each individual soul, you know, how the Mahat Tattva is there. And then how we have the gross body, how we have the shuttle body. Yeah. So all those things, as you can see, what Akrūra is praying is earth, water, fire, air, ether. Yeah. Panch Tattva. And its source. And then, of course, we have the Suksham Shari, right? We have the false ego, mind, and intelligence. And the Mahat Tattva is the marginal energy, from marginal energy, right? Total material nature, everything is nothing but Supreme Lord's Purusha's expansion, right? As we have seen, like when Karnodaya Karnodayakshu, Vishnu, takes a breath, that's when innumerable number of universes appear. Yeah. And when he takes the breath in, everything disappears. And which is like in billions and billions of years, right? Trillions of years. Right? But that's what he says. Bhu is the earth. Yeah. Toyam. Toyam is the water. Agni, Pavan, Hava, Kham is the Akash. Yeah. Bhustoyam, Agni, Pavanam, Khamadi. Yeah. And you can see all the Indriyas. You can see all the Indriya Arthas, right? And then, of course, says Jagato Ang Bhuta Hai. Everything is born from his transcendental body. Yeah. All these causes of the cosmic manifestation are born from your transcendental bodies. This is how, who is praying this right now?
Akrūra.
Akrūra, right? So Akrūra is praying, he's seeing the darshan of Bhagavan Vishnu. Seeing the darshan, he gets into the transcendental devotion and he is doing the glorification of Bhagavan Vishnu. Nete swarupam vidurahatmanaste Rijadayo atmanam taya grihita Ajon anubuddha sa gune rajaya Gunat param veda nate swarupam. The total material nature and these other elements of creation certainly cannot know you as you are, for they are manifested in the realm of dull matter. Since you are beyond the modes of nature, even Lord Brahma, who is bound up in these modes, does not know your true identity. So look at what Akrūra is saying. Yeah, he says that because of all this materialistic nature, right, and we are part of the materialistic nature, right, that's why we don't understand the Lord. Yeah, we don't understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how do we understand? What is the process of understanding him? How do we come to the realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Right? Is by bhakti. Yeah. Some people do by bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. Those are the different ways of you can try to get closer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and try to get to the spiritual advancement. But as a materialistic nature, we cannot know as you are. Right? It's viduratmanaste. Yeah, nete swarupam. It's not easy to know him. And he is even saying Lord Brahmaji, Ajay. Yeah. Lord Brahmaji, because he is Gune Rajaya. Yeah. Brahmaji actually also represents Rajagun, but because Brahmaji is also part of the materialistic nature. Yeah. If you remember, where does Lord Brahma resides? Yeah, which lok Lord Brahmaji resides?
Brahma.
Brahmalok.
Brahmalok, the uppermost.
The uppermost lok. Yeah, that's the Brahmalok. And how many loks we have? How many loks?
14.
Yeah, 14 loks. Yeah, so we have 14 loks, and we are on which lok?
Seventh.
Seventh.
Yeah, we are on 7th lok, which is called the Bhulok. Yeah. And do you remember the names of the upper 7 loks? What are the upper 7 loks? So Bhu, then
Swara.
yeah, Bhuva and Swaha. Yeah,
Yes.
that's easy to remember because we know this Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. That's when you do the Gayatri mantra. The first thing is Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, like Gayatri Mata, which is surrounding, because that's the Prakriti, right? And she resides into Bhur Bhuva, Akash, and then Swarg, Swaha. Yeah, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So those are the 3 loks, and then which are the other 3? So then above Swa is Janlok. Yeah. Janlok, and then above that is Taplok. Yeah, Taplok, where the highest Rishi Munis resides in the Taplok. And above that is Brahmalok. Yeah. And that's where Lord Brahmaji resides. So Brahmaji resides in the highest lok, but still it's part of the materialistic world. So because it is part of the materialistic world, even for Brahmaji, it's very difficult to understand Lord Vishnu. Right? That's why you will see a lot of times we read, like even Brahmaji came to see darshan of Lord Vishnu, right? And if you remember when Brahmaji came out of the Nabhi of Lord Vishnu, then Brahmaji tried to discover who is he, where did he come from. Yeah, and he even reached down to the Nabhi of Lord Vishnu, and he could not understand Lord Vishnu, and that's when Lord Vishnu gave him the whole Gyan, right, the whole knowledge of Vedas and everything else. So, and that's where Srimad Bhagavatam also comes through those descendancies. Bhagwan Vishnu gave it to Lord Brahmaji, then Lord Brahmaji gave it to whom did Lord Brahmaji give this knowledge to? Srimad Bhagavatam, right?
Ved Vyas or
Naradji, yeah, Narad Muni.
Narad, okay.
Yeah.
Narad
And
Muni.
then, yeah. And then Narad Muni gave it to Vyasdevji. Yeah. That's when Narad Muni gave it to Vyasdevji, and then Vyasdevji gave it to Sukdev Goswamiji, who is son of Vyasdevji. And then and all the Vedas and everything was then written again by Vyasji, yeah, Ved Vyasji. And then Sukdev Goswamiji, of course, reciting this to whom? Parikshit Maharaj, right? So see how it has come through. So it's not like something somebody has come and written this. This comes directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah. So, and that's where Akrūra is getting a darshan of Bhagwan, and he is describing, he is saying, even Lord Brahma, who is bound up in these modes, he is also associated with those modes. Brahmaji also has an age, right? So Brahmaji is not forever. Do you remember the age of Lord Brahma?
Four billion, 32 million years.
That is 1 day of Lord Brahma.
1 day, yeah. So 100.
Yeah. So 350 trillion years is the age of Lord Brahma. Yeah. And actually, it is not just a number, as we have seen again and again and again. All these numbers come together, right? Like if you see 1 day is 4 billion 32 million years. So is the night, which is 4 billion 32 million years. So 8 billion 64 million is 1 day and night of Lord Brahmaji. Yeah, that's just 1 day. And within that 1 day, you know how many Manus appear, right? You want to know that? I mean, you remember that?
14 Manus.
So in 1 day, 14 Manus appear. And within one Manu, and each Manus is, how long is that? Yeah. So has 72 Yug cycles. Yeah, each Manu, there are 72 Yug cycles. Each Yug cycle, what is a Yug cycle? Since we are talking about that, let's complete that thought process. So, what is a Yug cycle? So, Yug is 4 Yugas, right? What are the 4 Yugas?
Kalyug, Satyug, Dwapar, and Treta.
Correct. Yeah. So, Satyug is the first, then Treta Yug, then Dwapar Yug, and then Kali Yug. So, like this, there are 4 Yug, and then some space. Those cycles multiply by 72. Yeah, is 1 day of is one Manuvanta. Yeah, that's called Manuvanta because there are 14 Manus, Manuvanta. And if you are okay, we can just complete this thought process, right? That we have 4 Manus, sorry, 4 Yugas in one Yug cycle. And how long is the duration of Kali Yuga? How many years?
72
Yug cycles in one Manu's avatar. But right now we are talking about one Yug cycle, which are the 4 Yugas. So Kali Yuga is
432,000.
432,000 years, right? Why we are saying all this is so that you will see how 4 billion 32 million years of 1 day of Lord Brahma comes together when you see each individual units. So when you see how long is Kali Yuga, 432,000. If you double it up, that's how long Dwapar Yuga is. Yeah. So that is 864,000. If you add 432,000 to that, 864, which is around 1.3 million, that's how long Dwapar Yuga is. And if you add 432,000 to that, that's around 1.6 1.78 million, 1.7 million or something, right? If you add all these things together, it's around 4.32 million. So one yuga cycle is 4.32 million years. Yeah. And that if you multiply by 72, that's how long one Manuvantar is. And then if you take one Manuvantar and multiply by 14, because there are 14 Manus, right? And there is also, of course, there's some space in between during the destruction, right? That's how long that will be 4.32 billion years. Yeah. So you see how one day of Lord Brahma, 14 Manus, 72 yuga cycles, each yuga cycle, how long those are, and then how it all comes together. Yeah. And all this knowledge is given in different scriptures and different points. So it is not like some made up number, right? So this also means that we have been living, we have been there forever, right? This birth is just one birth we are having. And it's also mentioned we are having human birth, which is such an opportunity for us, because as we can see, the other species cannot really study Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, cannot do chanting, cannot understand this. Bhagwan has given us opportunity to at least understand and do the Bhakti Yoga. So I think we'll continue from here. But you see how it's mentioned the total material nature to which we belong to. Yeah, and we certainly cannot know as who you are. So who are we? It's mentioned that even Lord Brahmaji doesn't know. Yeah, even Lord Brahma tries to, even though he is at the Sadgunas, he is the topmost lok of this world, having 350 trillion years of life. Yeah, even he is bound up in these modes, does not know your true identity. Yeah, Gunat Param Vedana Te Swarupam. Yeah, very difficult to know. Yeah, your identity. It says here God is transcendental to material nature. Yeah, he is not impacted by this. Even though it comes from the God is not impacted by the material nature. Yeah, he is transcendental to material nature unless we also transcend the limit consciousness of material existence. We cannot know him. Even the greatest living entity in this universe, Lord Brahma, cannot understand the Supreme unless he comes to the platform of pure Krishna consciousness. Yeah, which is what the goal of life is. The highest perfection of life is to get to the platform of pure Krishna consciousness. And how can we get there? What's the way of developing
Bhakti.
Yeah, Bhakti? There are 9 ways of doing the Bhakti. Yeah, as we all know, as we all recollect and recite again and again so that we remember. That's why we are reciting all these numbers so that we remember those. Right? More and more time we talk about it, we will remember. Right? So that now the Bhakti, Shavanam, Kirtanam, Archanam, Dashyam, Sakyam, Bhakti. Yeah. So those are the 9 different ways by which we can develop your Krishna consciousness. Yeah. So we'll continue reading Akrūraji's prayers. Anilji.
Tvam yogino yajantyadhya mahapurushamishwaram sadhyatmam sadhibhutam cha sadhidevam cha sadhavaha. Pure yogis worship you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by conceiving of you in the threefold form comprising the living entities, the material elements that constitute the living entities' bodies, and the controlling deities of those elements. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Tvam Yogi no. Yeah, all the yogis worship, as we can see. Actually, if you go to Vrindavan, there are a lot of big sadhus, actually. Yeah. And there are a lot of sadhus which are, pretending and we know all these problems. But they are true sadhus, right? If you go to Vrindavan, there are also true sons who are totally devoted to, like Radharani, to Bhagwan Krishna, and like we know some of them, right? Like you hear Premanandji Maharaj, there's Vinod Baba, so like there are true sadhus who are there. So always when you go to Vrindavan, always take an opportunity to do their darshan, right? So those are the true yogis. And of course, there are a lot of yogis who are doing tapasya in Himalayas, right? Whom we don't even know. So, but anyway, it says pure yogis worship you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, Mahapurusham Ishwaram. And you know, there are three: Sadhyatmatam, Sadhibhutam, Cha Sadhidevam, Cha Sadhvara. Yeah, controlling deities of those elements are all praying. So, Vinodji?
Yes, Bhaiya. Trayaka Vidya Kesit Tvam Vai Tanika Dvijam Yajante Vitatar Yajaner Nana Rupa Marakhyaya. Brahmins who follow the regulations concerning the three sacred fires worship you by chanting mantras from the three Vedas and performing elaborate fire sacrifices for the various demigods who have many forms and names. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So even though there are so many forms and names, and we know that Brahmins, right, and some sons, right, they do the regulations concerning the sacred fires, right, yajna. So this is how Akrūra is describing that. Yeah. Ramanuji? Ramanuji?
Sorry, Akrūra has now described how those who follow the path of Sankhya, Yoga, and three Vedas worship the Supreme Lord in different ways. In the various places where the Vedas appear to recommend that one worship Indra, Varuna, and other demigods, these demigods are stated to be the supreme. But at the same time, the Vedas state that there is one supreme controller, the absolute truth, that is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who expand his potency through material creation into the form of demigods. Thus, worship of the demigods goes to him through the indirect method of karma kand or fruitive religious rituals. Ultimately, however, one who wants to achieve eternal perfection should worship the Lord directly in full Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ajay?
Eke twakhil karmani sannasya pashnam gata jnanino jnana yagyen yajanti jnana vigraham. In pursuit of spiritual knowledge, some persons renounce all material activities and having thus become peaceful, perform the sacrifice of philosophic investigation to worship you, the original form of knowledge, all knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Akrūra continuously glorifying Lord Vishnu, saying Jnana Vigraham. Yeah, he is the original form of all knowledge. And all the yogis, some of the yogis you will see, right? They go into the meditation, they they try to gain the knowledge. Yeah. How? They akhil karmani, like all the karmas, like they give up, renounce all the material activities, which is very difficult to do, right? But then some of them achieve it, and basically saying that they perform the sacrifice of philosophical investigation to worship you, the original form of all knowledge. Yeah. But what mentioned is modern philosophers pursue knowledge without bothering to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And thus they naturally end up with meager, if not trivial results. So what's mentioned is very important to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without that, your knowledge is not possible. Nisha?
अन्ये च संस्कृतमानो विधिना विहितेन ते यजन्ति त्वन्मयास्त्वां वे बहुमृतेर्कमूर्तिकम्. And yet others, those whose intelligence is pure, follow the injunctions of Vaishnava scriptures promulgated by you. Absorbing their minds in thoughts of you, they worship you as the one Supreme Lord, manifesting in multiple forms. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And then some others, Sanskritatmanu, right? Describe whose intelligence is pure. Yeah. And then they absorb their minds in thought of you. Yeah. So like when we are discussing, when we are visualizing Lord Shri Krishna, our minds are absorbed. Like we have read in the previous chapters, right? That how gopis are absorbed, totally absorbed in Lord Shri Krishna. They are always talking about Lord Shri Krishna's activities. That's how they are totally absorbed in the minds. They worship you as one Supreme Lord, manifesting in multiple forms. Yeah. Tarun?
The word Samskrita Manaha, whose intelligence is pure, is significant here. It implies that the worshippers mentioned before have not completely purified their intelligence of material contamination and thus worship the Lord indirectly. Those who are purified, however, directly worship the Lord, either as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, or as one of his various plenary forms, such as Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, or Aniruddha, as indicated here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. And if you remember, from Lord Vishnu, those four forms appear actually. Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyuman, and Aniruddha. And Lord Balram is extension of which form? Out of four, Lord Balram is extension of
Sankarshan.
Sankarshan. Yeah, that's why Lord Balram is also called Sankarshan. Yeah, Sankarshan. That's where the Sheshnag is. Yeah, Lakshmanji is from Sankarshan, and of course, Vasudeva is Vasudeva. So. Ajay?
Twame vanye shivokaten margin shivrupinam brahmacharya vibhiten bhagwantam upasate. There are still others who worship you, the Supreme Lord, in the form of Lord Shiva. They follow the path described by him and interpreted in various ways by many teachers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And this is Akrūra glorifying. And Akrūra is seeing the darshan of Lord Vishnu. And he's also saying like how everyone is glorifying Lord Shri Vishnu, right? As we saw in the last adhyay, right? And so he's saying that some are on the marg of Jnana Yoga, some are in the marg of Bhakti Yoga, some are also Shivoktena Margena Shiva Rupina. Yeah, Bhagwan Shiv Ji ki pratna karte hain, right? They worship you in the form of Lord Shiva. And says here the words from you also indicate the path of worshipping Lord Shiva is indirect, and therefore yes, Akrūra himself is following superior method by directly worshipping Lord Shri Krishna or Vishnu with his prayers. Sarva eva yajanti tvama sarvadevam meshwaram apanya devita bhakta yadapyana yadhiya prabhu. But all these people, my Lord, even those who have turned their attention away from you and are worshipping other deities, are actually worshipping you alone or embodiment of all the demigods. Now, what Akrūra is saying, irrespective of whom we are worshipping, because they are all extensions of Lord Vishnu. So at the end of the day, they are all extensions of Lord Vishnu. So, even though if we are worshipping other devatas, we are essentially worshipping Lord Vishnu, is what Akrūra is saying. Anilji?
Yathadri prabhava nadyah parjanya puritaah prabho vishanti sarvata sindhum tadvatvam gatayo antatah. As rivers born from the mountains and filled by the rain flow from all sides into the sea, so do all these paths in the end reach you, O Master. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so like it's saying all the nadis, they come to विशंति सर्वतः सिंधु, सब सागर में मिल जाते हैं, या उसी तरह गतियो अनंत है. At the end, all these paths in the end reach to you, O Master. Yeah? So at the end, all the paths reach to one Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why we always say there is one Bhagwan. But then we also say there are so many Bhagwans, right? So many Devatas. They are all extensions of Bhagwan in different forms, right? But at the end of the day, there is only one Bhagwan. And all these prayers which we are doing reaches to him. And in fact, it's a nice purport which is cited here. Oh. Ramanuji?
Lord Krishna himself speak on the issue of worship in the Bhagavad Gita. Ye pe anya devata bhakta yajante shraddhaya anvita tepi mam eva kaunteya yayanti avidhi purvakam aham hi sarva yajnanam bhakta cha prabhur eva cha natur mam abhijananti tattvenas chyanti te yanti deva vrata venam devan pritra yanti pritra vraha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti mam yajno pimam. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifice. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so this is a slok from Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, slok 23rd to 25th. Yeah, Bhagwan says, Yanti Dev Vritta Devan. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Pitram Yanti Pitravata. And then he's also saying that Yanti Madhyajino Pi Mama. Right? The people who worship me will live with me. Yeah? Nisha?
सत्वं रजस्तम इति भवतः प्रकृतेर्गुणाः तेषु हि प्राकृताः प्रोता आब्रह्मस्थावरादयः. Goodness, passion, and ignorance, the qualities of your material nature, entangled all conditioned living beings, from Brahma down to the non-moving creatures. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? Then Akrūra is saying that all these, as we know, right, three gunas, sattva, raja, and tamogun, goodness, passion, and ignorance, all comes down from Lord Brahmaji to all the living entities and even non-living entities. This is what is mentioned here. Vinodji?
तुभ्यं नमस्ते तव अविक्त दृष्टये सर्वत्माने सर्वधियं क साक्षिणे गुण प्रवाहो यम अविद्यया कृतः प्रवर्तते देव नर तिर्यज्ञ tamassu. I offer my obeisances to you, who, as the Supreme Soul of all beings, witness everyone's consciousness with unbiased vision. The current of your material modes, produced by the force of ignorance, flows strongly among the living beings who assume identities as demigods, humans, and animals. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I offer my obeisances to you. Yeah, and who is offering the obeisances?
Akrūra.
Akrūra, right? Akrūra offering obeisances to Bhagwan Vishnu. Tubhyam namaste. Tva vishakta drishtaye. Yeah, drishtaye. What drishtaye? And he sarva atmane, sarva dhyam cha sakshine. Yeah, he says he is the supreme soul of all beings, witness everyone's consciousness with unbiased vision. Yeah. So as you know, we have talked about this again and again. So we have the gross body, then we have the Suksham Sharir, right? And Suksham Sharir is made up of what? So gross body is made up of the Panch Tattva, right? We know that. Agni, Akash, Prithvi, Jal, Vayu. That's gross body. Then we have Sthul Sharir. That's the Sthul Sharir, right? Then we have Suksham Sharir, yeah, which is the shuttle body, which is made up of
Man,
Buddhi, Ahankar.
right, yeah, Man, Buddhi, and Ahankar, which is mind, intelligence, and self-ego. And then we are saying we have Atma, yeah, that's the soul. And then we have the super soul. So we have soul and the super soul. And that's what is mentioned here, that each of us, right, we have the soul which is connected to the super soul, and also we have the super soul and soul present within us. So he's saying that who has a supreme soul of all beings witness everyone's consciousness with unbiased vision. Yeah. Also we have read in Bhagavad Gita, Samohitam Sarva Bhuteshu, Bhagwan is equal to everyone. Right? And then he's just describing that all these material modes are flowing through, yeah, from Brahmaji to all the Devatas, to all the humans, all the animals, all different species. Agnirmukham te avani anggrikshanam suryo nabho nabiratho dishah shruti hai dhoh kam surendrast bahavo arnavah kukshe marut pran balam prakalpitam romani vriksho daya shiroruha megah paristhan akhani te adrayah निमेशनम रात्रिहनि प्रजापति मे दृष्टु वृष्टिस्त्ववीर्यमिष्यते. Fire is said to be your face, the earth your feet, the sun your eye, and the sky your navel. The directions are your sense of hearing, the chief demigods your arms, and the oceans your abdomen. Heaven is thought to be your head, and the wind your vital air and physical strength. The trees and plants are the hairs on your body. The clouds, the hair on your head, and the mountains, the bones and nails of you. The supreme, the passage of day and night is the blinking of your eyes, the progenitor of mankind, your genitals, and the rain, your semen. Right? And as you see, the Virat Swarup of Bhagwan Vishnu has been described earlier in Srimad Bhagavatam, if you remember, right? How the Virat Swarup is described. Even those 14 loks are described as part of their body, right? Like the Brahma lok being on the head of Lord Vishnu, and then Patal lok being the feet. Yeah, like we talked about the upper 6 loks, but there are also 7 loks below us, right? Below Bhu, below the Bhu, Bhur, Jan lok, Tap lok, and Brahmalok. Below us, we also have 7 loks. And what is the bottommost lok?
Patal.
Yeah,
Patal.
Patal is the bottommost lok. And you know the other 6 loks? Name? Which are the other?
Vital.
Yes. Tal, Vital, Mahatal, Talatal, Rasatal, and Patal. Yeah. So those are the six loks. So it's not just by saying some names like there are 14 loks. Look, the name of each lok is given. Yeah. The name of each Manu is given. As you can see, we know the current Manu is Vivashvat Manu, right? The son of Lord Vivashman, Bhagwan, Surya Bhagwan, right? And even the name of the next Manu is given. The Swarni Manu is the next Manu Mantra. The first Manu was Shambhu Manu. So it is not just like some story or something, it's something which is real, right? Even the next Manus are described. And if you remember, who is going to be the Indra Devi next Manu?
Maharaja Bali.
Maharaja Bali, yeah? If you know the Bali Maharaj story, in 3 steps, Vaman Dev appeared, Vaman Dev, Bhagwan Vishnu's avatar appeared, and Lord Bali used to be the king at that time, and he gave everything to Vaman Dev, Bhagwan Vishnu, and then Bhagwan Vishnu gave him the blessings that he will be the Lord Indra in the next Manvantara. So currently where he is residing, do you know? And I know we are distracting a little bit, but do you know where Lord Bali Maharaj is residing? So Bali Maharaj is forever. There are, I think, 9 or 12 Amar souls who are there, right? And one of them is Maharaja Bali. So he heads Rasatal, yeah? So we have like Bhu, and then there's a Atal, Vital, and Rasatal is there, right? Third or fourth, yeah? And that's where Maharaja Bali is. Anyway, so that's how the Virat Swarup of Bhagwan Vishnu is described. Anilji?
Well, yes, Bhatma Purushe Prakalpita Lokaha Sapala Bahujiva Sankita Sankalla Yatha Jale Sanjihate Jalokaso Apyudumbare Va Mashka Manomay. All the worlds with their presiding demigods and teeming populations originate in you, the inexhaustible Supreme Personality of Godhead. These worlds travel within you, the basis of the mind and senses, just as aquatics swim in the sea or tiny insects burrow within an adumbra fruit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So this is how Akrūra is continuing the glorification of Bhagwan Vishnu. Yeah, Vinodji?
Yani yaniha rupani vidanatham vibharsihi tair amar stasuko loka muda gayanti te yasa. To enjoy your pastimes, you manifest yourself in various forms in this material world, and these incarnations cleanse away all the unhappiness of those who joyfully chant your glories. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and then we see the Srimad Bhagavatam is the same thing, right? We are chanting glories of Lord Vishnu. As you can see, like in all adhyas, everywhere, some or else great devotee is chanting Bhagwan Vishnu's prayer. Yeah? Like now we are seeing Akrūra is chanting this prayer. We have seen Bhishma Pitama, we have seen Kunti Mata, right? We have even seen Bhagwan Shivji explaining it to the Prithu Maharaj's sons on how to worship Bhagwan Vishnu. And each adhyay, how the gopis are worshipping Lord Sri Krishna, right? So everywhere we have been seeing in Srimad Bhagavatam, almost every adhyay or other, there is a stuti of Bhagwan Vishnu. Yeah? How Indra Devji was doing the prayers, how Lord Brahmaji was doing the prayers, how all the Rishi Muni is doing the prayers. Like everywhere, this has been Srimad Bhagavatam is essentially the prayer of Bhagwan. And that's what Akrūra is saying, that you have taken Yani Rupani, you appeared in many avatars, right? We know, we have read about Bhagwan Ram, Bhagwan Narsingh Bhagwan, right? And so many avatars of Bhagwan Vishnu. And of course, what happens with that? Why Lord appears again and again? Because these incarnations cleans away all the unhappiness. Yeah? When you are doing the bhakti or when you are chanting glories, they cleans away the unhappiness and they start taking us to the spiritual path. Nisha?
Namaha Karana मत्स्थाय प्रलयाब्धिचराय च हयशिष्टने नमस्तुभ्यं मृत्यवे अकुपाराय बृहते नमो मंद्रधारिणे क्षित्युद्धारविहाराय नमः शुकरमूर्तये. I offer my obeisances to you, the cause of the creation, Lord Matsya, who swam about in the ocean of dissolution, to Lord Hayagriva, the killer of Madhu and Kaitab, to the immense tortoise Lord Kurma, who supported Mandara mountain, and to the boar incarnation Lord Varaha, who enjoyed lifting the earth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, as we were just talking about different incarnations Bhagwan has taken, Lord Matsya Avatar, if you remember, Hayagri Avatar, right? And the Kurma Avatar and the Varaha Avatar. And we have read about all these avatars. Yeah. So Viharaya Nama Shukur Murti. And then we have seen how Shishne and different avatar Bhagwan has taken. And so this is how Akrūra is doing glorification and prayers to Lord Shri Vishnu. Yeah, and we'll continue to read this. So we'll pause here since we are over time little bit, and we'll continue to read tomorrow at 9. Let's hear a nice devotional bhajan. Yeah, it's around 5 minutes, and then we'll pause. Okay.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jaya 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 Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya
बोलो श्री राधे गोविंद भगवान की.
Jai.
Yeah, so nice bhajan. This is directly from. Do you know which temple is this? Oh, you haven't been there? It is in Jaipur, Radhe Govind Mandir in Jaipur.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. So that's so there's a story behind this actually. So Man Singh Ji was the king of Jaipur. He got it from Vrindavan. That's when King Aurangzeb was attacking that place. So that's from where they, to save the deities, the Jaipur king that time he got the deities, and then every day it's mentioned that every day. So where Radhe Govind Ji Mandir is? The fort is right in front of that, the backside. So from the window of the fort, every morning, Man Singh Ji will do darshan of Radhe Govind Ji Maharaj, and it's mentioned that he used to talk to Radhe Govind Ji Bhagwan. Anyway, but this is beautiful temple. If you go to Jaipur, definitely go to Radhe Govind Ji Mandir. And these days now they have organized things, right? So there are queues and all that, so that the kamuki is less, even though there's always so.
Jaipur, there is a Khatu Shyam temple, which is.
Khatu Shyam Ji Mandir is. So Khatu Shyam Ji Mandir is 1 hour from Jaipur.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's 15 minutes from my village.
Oh, okay.
Where I was born.
Oh, okay.
So Khatu Shyam Ji, you know the story behind Khatu Shyam Ji.
Yeah, I read about it actually.
Who is Khatu Shyam Ji? Today we are learning a lot of different things, but who is Khatu Shyam Ji?
Khatu Shyam Ji वो घटोत्कच के
right? So Ghatotkacha,
right?
who's son of Bhim, yeah?
Yeah.
And then, so his head was cut, right? And then it was a Vardhan given to him, like he will get his Shyam's form. And then he will be able to see Mahabharata from there, the Bharat Yuddha. Yeah? It was happening in Haryana, right? That place. Where did the Mahabharata Yuddha take place? Kurukshetra, right?
Kurukshetra.
So Kurukshetra, Khatu Shyam Ji, so far away, but that's why when you Khatu Shyam Ji, it's only the head of Bhagwan, right? It's only the head in Khatu Shyam Ji.
Right.
And he got the eyes of Shyam. That's why it's called Khatu Shyam Ji. And he saw that darshan. So nice, you're right. So it's just 1 hour from Khatu Shyam Ji, and there's another 1 hour is 1.5 hours is Salasar Balaji Mandir, which is also pretty famous. So when you go to Jaipur, you go to Radhe Govind Ji, then you go to Khatu Shyam Ji, then you go to Salasar Balaji and come back. And then when I go, I also visit my village, which is in between. So, all right. So I know we are a little bit over time.
So Gajan, which place is that village? What's the name?
My village is Jajod. Khatu Shyam Ji is the Khatu Shyam Ji village. I mean, it's
Right. Now, I've been to Khatu Shyam Ji and Salasar Ji. Just wanted to check your village, which is your birthplace.
Yeah, it's called Jajod.
Jajod.
When you go to Khatu Shyam Ji from Jaipur, you get Ringas, if you remember. The Ringas is the junction which comes. Ringas and then, there are 2 Jajod. So there's another Jajod, which is towards Salasar Balaji, actually. This is very close to Khatu Shyam Ji. It's a small village.
Okay.
Jajod Khedi. Yeah. It's 15 minutes drive from Khatu Shyam Ji.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you.
Next time you can go through that. Yeah, when you go there, let me know. There's a road now. There's a road from there to the village, so it's a quick entry.
Yeah, there are lots of celebration in Khatu Shyam temple actually.
It's huge. So
Yeah.
from Jaipur on Ekadashi, and there's a specific month. I think it's Kartik month or maybe another month. I'm not sure. People go barefoot from Jaipur to Khatu Shyam Ji. It's at least 1 hour, 1.5 hour drive actually to Khatu Shyam Ji from Jaipur. And some people go with the parikrama, like the Dandvat parikrama, 1 hour drive. So think how long it takes to walk. And that's a huge place. Like Like we go to Tirupati Balaji, Srinathji temple, like that Khatu Shyamji is मान्यता है. उनको वरदान भी था भगवान का, काफी वरदान दिए थे खाटू श्याम. And then of course Salasar Balaji is there. Cool. So nice to see everyone. Sorry for the pause. I know we have been pausing again and again, but due to that, at least good, we are getting there. We are on 40th Adhyay, 10th Skand. Slowly and slowly we'll get there. And hopefully Rinaji get well soon. Nisha, you are doing good?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you.
Nice. So, and I know Tarun is preparing for the big moment.
I'm trying to join as much as I can. Let's see how long it lasts.
I know. Now that's so nice. At least you are able to join, even though being so busy. So, cool. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, at 9:30. Sorry, 9 o'clock again. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Good night. Shubh Ratri.